Stadium in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's time for the Blue Cross Bowl Championships. Tonight, it's the 2A championship game between the Goodpasture Cougars and the Alcoa Tornadoes. Hi everybody, Willie Donick here with Pat Sprudito to give you all the action in Game 2 of the doubleheader. A cold night in Murfreesboro, and Pat, these are the two teams that everybody thought would get here. This is the third straight year both of these teams have made it. They're here again.
Well, the good thing is both coaches know each other. They've seen each other the last 3 years. Coach Martin for the Cougars, he knows what to expect from this Alcoa squad. And Coach Rankin, he's made many trips here just down the road with Riverdale, now out at Alcoa, back-to-back for him, and both teams should be hyped up for tonight.
Now let's take it a road to how these teams got here. Goodpasture has not won the title since 2001, but this is their third crack at the Alcoa Tornadoes, who are looking for their fourth consecutive title. Look at that bottom line. They beat DCA 38-0 in the semifinals. DCA is the only team to have beaten Goodpasture this year. So now, Pat, as we take a look at the key players for tonight's game, let's start with the Cougars. To pull the upset tonight, they need a big game from Whit Mahan, their quarterback.
And the quarterback is the key in this offense. He has to deliver the ball to all these different runners that they have between Mays and Cunningham and Rogan. Those three guys are going to get their share of carries. Mahan's the key.
Now for Alcoa, they lost a lot of guys from last year's team, but one guy who's back, Mr. Football, Randall Cobb.
And Randall Cobb is dynamic, over 600 yards rushing. And listen to this stat, 21 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions on the season.
Now we'll check our Beam and Pontiac GMC keys to the game. Let's take a look. Goodpasture really needs to focus on this year's game.
Yesterday's gone. Don't look back. Forget about last year. It's an independent year. Go play some football.
And of course for Alcoa, they want to really remind everybody in those stands who the dominant team is.
And you get up early, you put that doubt back into Goodpasture where they say, here we go again. So for Goodpasture, they got to keep it out. And for Alcoa, if they get up early, doubt sinks in.
A lot of new faces, but familiar uniforms here in the 2A championship game. We'll have the kickoff in just a moment. Stay tuned. The crowd settling into Floyd Stadium. We will crown our second state champion tonight. Earlier today, it was Mackenzie falling to South Pittsburgh. So congratulations to the Pirates. Now, it'll be the battle from East Tennessee, the Alcoa Tornadoes, and the Goodpasture Cougars. A good crowd settling in tonight. A cool night, not nearly as cold as the last couple of years. It was wet earlier today, but it has cleared up nicely for this crowd.
South Pittsburgh opens up again tomorrow morning. It's closed for the day, as the whole town came here earlier.
Well, if you're coming back from Atlanta or Chattanooga towards Nashville tonight, there won't be a whole lot of action when you pass through South Pittsburgh. Everybody's on the way home. Let's go down to the third member of our crew, Anthony Heron, standing by.
Well, Willie, the Hibbett Sports Injury Report looks exactly like these coaches needed to look right now. No major injuries to report on either sideline. But for David Martin, his Cougars, they got a little bit of a, some deja vu going right now, because both of these two teams, they played the last 3 years in the state championship game. He said he's not worried about any of the bulletin board material. This team is ready to go.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. Let's hear the Alcoa band for the anthem. All right, there is your official weather report. So I was about right, 43 degrees. It's been a lot colder at times over these last few Decembers. Not much wind, and the clouds are moving through. So the rain seems to have gone. I think earlier today a lot of people might have been worried about that. but we're set for some football. And Pat, if you look at Alcoa and what they've done to get here, it has been pretty smooth sailing for a while. Their only loss at 13-1 on the year to a team called Maryville. And by the way, they've won 59 in a row. We're going to see them tomorrow playing for a title.
Maybe the best team in the state. Really, Maryville's a machine, and I like the idea of what Coach Rankin and Alcoa do every single year. They play Maryville more so for the experience, for that battle, for that get them a little more battle tested for the playoffs. You might as well play the best, prepare your team to go against better competition. And that's why they do it. And I think it's admirable of Coach Rankin.
Alcoa and Maryville just next-door neighbors, but with so many great players.
7 miles apart.
Yeah, and they both continue to do well year after year. A lot of people thought this might be the year you could take Alcoa. It's a very young team, about 25 seniors left off of last year's dominating team. But they've gotten here again, and to their credit, they've done it convincingly, scoring over 40 points in now 5 of the last 6 games getting here.
And they're so good up front. That's where their strength is. They have such great linemen on both sides of the ball. A big thing for Alcoa tonight is going to be to keep the perimeters clean. Make sure you turn everything back inside, because Goodpasture's speed could be devastating on the edges.
We're taking a look at the coin toss. Goodpasture is in the blue helmets and the white jerseys with blue pants. Alcoa on the other side with their maroon jerseys. This is their 4th straight title game. 4 years ago, Pat, it was one of the best games I've ever seen at the high school level. They beat Huntington 51-42. It was an absolute shootout, as you can imagine by the score, and it went back and forth into the final minutes before they pulled away. Then the last 2 years against Goodpasture, they've really flexed their muscles. Last year's game a little bit more competitive than the year before. 2 years ago, 55-13. Alcoa just ran out the Cougars 34-0 at the half.
Won the toss. Alcoa won the toss. Sorry. Goodpasture has won the toss and elected to defer.
Okay, who won the toss, Pat?
Alcoa will receive.
Well, I know Alcoa's getting the ball. That's all I know. Which means Goodpasture will get in the second half. But you know, we talk about it. I really think, you know, there's going to be a couple big plays on special teams that'll end up making the difference this evening. You'll see Goodpasture has to make something happen, a block punt, something really good to get all those nasty memories out of their mind, and it's got to happen early, because if Alcoa goes up, like I said in the open, I really believe that same thought process will start to sink in, where you say, oh no, here we go again.
Well, last year, I'm sure they had some of those same feelings, because as I mentioned, 55-13 in 2005. It was 34-0 in the half, and Alcoa was so dominant. Last year, much better job by Goodpasture. If they had just finished some drives and maybe stayed in the game a little bit longer. 31-3 probably doesn't indicate how much more competitive that game was. They made a lot of strides last year, so maybe they can take the next step forward this year. But both of these teams have so many new players. Both coaches mentioned that. There's probably only about 8 or 9 key players that had a big role in last year's game.
But the effects, the thought process that goes through, don't kid yourself. Even the young kids know, oh my gosh, it's the same team we played last year, or our school played last year, or the year before that. So I think it's going to be a great game. I really think Goodpasture, they're going to shock you a little bit with how many guys. Like I said, I talked about Cunningham, who I think is unbelievable. Tracy Mays is as speedy as they come. You have Rogan, you have Lovell, you have a big fullback in Gillespie that'll pound you up the middle, and Mahan is the key. He's really got to make sure all those handoffs and control of the game is critical.
There's David Martin, the head coach of Goodpasture. He's got 3 state titles under his belt. His last one in 2001. He won 2 during the 90s, and he is piling up the years at that fine program year in and year out. The names change, the faces change, but they keep getting results.
But let me tell you right now, you think of some of the guys that he's got a guy playing out at USC, a starting wide receiver, and Patrick Turner, who was the #1 recruit in the state a few years back, and just keeps bumping them out. Like I said, I think up front, in the past, they've been better, and that'll be a big test for them.
Alcoa had the easier route to the championship game. In the playoffs, nobody's come close to them. As we take a look at Gary Rankin, he is going for state title number 6. He won 4 at Riverdale High School at the 5A level, and he won his first season at Alcoa last year. with that 31-3 win over Goodpasture. His team has rolled through the playoffs all the way through. Nobody has come close. Meanwhile, Goodpasture has pulled some major cardiac kid kind of stuff to get here. They have been very well tested, but one thing that Goodpasture says, even though they've given up a lot more points than Alcoa has to get here, they feel like their defense has gotten better. They've made some breakthroughs the last couple of weeks, and that's going to be a big key tonight.
Well, where they've gotten better is that back seven. Those 3 linebackers and 4 defensive backs have become more active. And it's going to be exciting, and it'll all start with a little bit of toe to pig.
Glenn Neighbors will kick it off for Goodpasture, and we will get this thing started here in the borough. And he chips it up high. They did this last week quite a bit, and the fair catch is called for and made by the Alcoa Tornadoes. And so Darrell Warren fields the catch, and so on tape they must have seen that, Pat. That's a good coaching there. Don't get the jitters, just call the fair catch and take it.
That's smart, and you see Mr. Football right there, Randall, Cobb. You keep wanting to call him Randall, Tex Cobb, a former boxer. And Randall Cobb, like I said, he's a dynamic kid. He runs, he throws, he'll make things happen when you least expect it.
So here comes Alcoa for their first offensive possession. They'll get it at the 38-yard line. Cobb on the long count, gives it right up the middle, and that is Trey Hodge. And we'll take a look at our Governor's Highway Safety starting lineup, reminding you, booze it and lose it. There are your starters for Alcoa. Troy Hodges is the main man in the backfield. There's your offensive line: Marsh, Kincannon, Miles, Coulter, and Hickman.
And you've already seen the effects of the big offensive line as Gary Rankin and his Alcoa squad come out 2 tight ends and say, okay, we're going right up the gut. Stop us.
8 yards for Hodge on first down. And Cobb will keep it himself. Around the end, he'll have a first down, and he'll get into Goodpasture territory. Let's take a look at the defense. Governor's Highway Safety Office starting lineup. There are your Cougars up front. Chase Griggs and Eric Metter in the middle. And 3 excellent linebackers. Aaron Gillespie made 18 tackles in the game last year, and he anchors the defense. A lot of these guys you'll see on both, in fact, all 4 of them you'll see on both sides of the ball.
That secondary is excellent. I mean, they are 4 very good athletes who do a great job of tackling, and they have to get involved.
Single setback is Hodge, and he gets it on first down. Hodge cuts upfield. Good gain on first down. He's across the 40, and he'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down.
Just the old, it's just a trap play. They bring both the guard and you take a peek right here. Watch from the backside. They pull the 2 linemen around. One gets the edge and logs that end, and the other lineman cleans up a couple of those little guys, and it's 2nd and 2. Again, you love it when your first down play can gain 8 yards, because now you can either play action and throw the ball, or you can just keep pounding it.
You saw Aaron Gillespie in there low for his first of what probably will be many tackles. Here's Cobb. Looked like he was going to run it. He's a lefty. Thought about throwing it, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. So the pursuit gets to him.
Great job with the speed of the defense for Goodpasture as the Cougars fly to the football. Like I said, Coach Rankin decides 2nd and 2, I'll take a shot. He actually loses on it. But watch the defense for Goodpasture. They string it out just like you're supposed to do, and then close in on the big quarterback, wrap him up, take him to the ground.
You saw how Cobb tucked that ball under his arm as if he was going to run to disguise the throw.
Right.
But Goodpasture was not fooled.
All it was student body left, and it's really a play action rollout.
5 seconds on the play clock. Alcoa must hurry on third down.
2 tights again, 2 backs. Down your throat.
Hodge right up the middle for the first down. A nice hole generated by the Tornadoes offensive line. Wow. It'll be a first down at the 31. Benji Cunningham on the tackle for the Cougars.
And you want to talk about, you watch the big boys get off the football. Look at big number 74, pulls around, kicks out the tackle, and sure enough, Justin Marsh leads the way.
Troy Hodge rushed for just under 1,000 yards on the season and 24 touchdowns, and he's likely to get over 1,000 yards if Alcoa has the night that they expect to. First down at the 31.
Back to the fullback.
Fullback gets the carry. Right to the middle goes Taharin Tyson. Gillespie makes the tackle after a gain of 3.
And right now, Goodpasture on their heels, giving up pretty good chunks on first down. I like the way Coach Rankin's come out. Little belly dive, little belly trap, Little pitch to the tailback, little dive, ISO. I mean, that's good combinations, and then let the quarterback run it a little bit.
Now the two-back set. Tyson and Hodge. Hodge will follow Tyson. And a good tackle that time by the Cougars. Getting outside to make the stop was Benji Cunningham from the outside safety position, along with some help from Thomas Goodlow.
And those, I told you, that secondary can run. Cunningham and Mays and Rogan, those guys are going to fly to the football. Goodpasture is so solid on the perimeter defense. Up front is what they have to hone down on. And now a 3rd and 4, it's still manageable. Obviously, Alcoa has proven that.
Well, in high school football, if you watch a lot of college and pro, these are big plays here. 3rd and 5. You're usually talking 2-down territory because these teams are used to scoring touchdowns. Bad snap, but a quarterback draw. A lot of room for Cobb. He scoops it up. He's got a 1st down, going for more. He's in the end zone. It is going to be marked out at the 1. We have a flag down as well back at the 10-yard line.
It's going to be a hold from that point, which will still give them a 1st down, I think. No, if it's back further, maybe not. We're going to find out right now.
So almost disaster for Alcoa,
but that's
as
why
it was a bad snap, but that's why he's Mr. Football. He's going to scoop it up.
That's what he does. I told you, when you least expect it, here it comes. And this is Randall Cobb right here at his best.
Holding on Alcoa. 10-yard penalty will repeat. 3rd down.
And you see the whole flag thrown right there. But if you look at it, it actually goes from a 3rd and 4 to a 3rd and 1.
What? At least another shot for
Coach
Goodpasture to force the 4th down.
He's calling a timeout right now.
It's an interesting call by Rankin. He still had plenty of time on the play clock, but he wants to talk it over. So we'll take it with him. 8:15 to play in the first quarter. We're just getting started. Pull up a chair. Alcoa and Goodpasture going for the state championship. Randall Cobb has played in 3 of these state tournament games, or state title games rather. He's the 3rd straight Mr. Football winner from Alcoa. 2 years ago was Brandon Warren. Last year, the tailback Chris Shiverdecker. Now he runs the show. And here's Hodge cutting back, and he has the 1st down easily to the 15-yard line. So it has not been a problem so far up front for the Alcoa offensive line.
And I said it, I still believe, I think Alcoa up front, their linemen, especially their interior linemen, are exceptional, and they've gotten after Goodpasture up front. Goodpasture has to do something. Maybe start running some run blitzes in there.
Alcoa driving well on their first possession. So take a look at that Goodpasture defense, looking for answers against this Alcoa offensive line. That was a good shot of Connor Miles, a junior, and there was a lot of underclassmen. And we have a flag. It looks like the play clock has run out.
We have delay of game against Alcoa.
2nd penalty on this drive for the Tornadoes, and Gary Rankin is wondering what happened there.
Prior to the penalty, we had timeout. Alcoa, that's their 2nd.
Wow.
Okay, so no penalty. A 2nd timeout called on this drive. Gary Rankin really wants to score.
I guess
on this
so.
drive. I think he heard your key to the game.
Well, it's 1st down. I mean, and I think, you know what, believe it or not, a 5-yard delay of game might not be devastating right now for this Alcoa offense.
Well, they've got the 10th play of the drive coming up.
Well, they've pounded it right up the gut. If you look at what Alcoa's done, they've gone behind the 3 interior guys. That's Kincannon, Miles, and Coulter. The 3 inside guys, Hickman, the other guy, and Marsh. The 5 linemen have really done a good job. And what else he's done, have you noticed he's gone with the 2 tights? A lot of times they'll go with 2 wides and 1 tight, or 2 tights and 1 back. But he's gone 2 tights, 2 backs, and said, here we come. Lead ISO, take it.
So instead of 1st and 15 and 2 timeouts for the half, he burns his 2nd timeout, but will take the 1st and 10 from just inside the 15-yard line on the opening drive. So here's Cobb.
This is
Hodge of the single set. They fake it to him. The left-hander throws. He's got a man wide open over the middle. The tight end, Tyler Robinson, touchdown, Alcoa Tornadoes. A 15-yard scoring strike, and so the timeout pays dividends.
And Tyler Robinson, just a sophomore, 6'2", 220-pound sophomore, runs the drag route. And take a look. Cobb, play action, fakes the toss, rolls around. They clear out with the receiver. They hit him on the crosser. Sure enough, he powers his way in.
7th touchdown of the year for Robinson, who is only a sophomore. You see the size of him? 220 pounds. Catching it, barreling over 2 tacklers into the end zone. And Gary Rankin told me that they're going to get better and better over the years. There's a senior throwing to a sophomore.
Hey, and you look at their starters, sophomore fullback, sophomore tight end, obviously, a junior, a junior, a junior, a junior, and all sophomore backups. So get ready. I think we might see them again.
Randall Cobb, the left-hander, now 22 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions. You heard Pat talk about that stat earlier. So no problem on the first drive for Alcoa. It'll be Goodpasture's turn to answer here. The strength of their team is their offense.
No, there's no question, and it's running the football. Now it flips over. Now we're going to see what Goodpasture does well, and that's run the ball with all of those great backs and use their speed. For Alcoa defensively, they have to keep everything bottled up inside. They have to bring everything back to the middle of the field. If they let any of those speed guys for Goodpasture get on the edge, it's over.
So there is your kicker, Derek Brodus. He will kick it off. As Troy Hodge did a lot of the work on that drive as well with 36 yards. Cobb chipped in with 19 rushing, along with 14 passing.
Another sophomore, Brodus.
Brodus kicks with the left foot and boots it away.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
kick. And it chases Cunningham all the way into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback.
Wow.
And so Goodpasture has it on the 20.
And he pounded that thing.
That was a pretty good looking kick. And there is Whit Mahan, our first look at him. And in the semifinals, they didn't have to throw it much.
They don't throw it much. It's really what Whit Mahan has to do is make sure the ball is secured at all times. Don't force any handoffs if he can't get there. Don't force any actions if he can't get there. Manage the game.
Mahan on first down. Gives to Mays. Tracy Mays bottled up behind the line.
And ball on the ground.
The ball on the ground, loose. Will they call it a fumble? Yes, they will. They are going to give this ball to Alcoa. One play, one fumble, and it was the guy that just scored the touchdown who made the play, Tyler Robinson. He stripped that ball loose.
And it goes back to what I said, Coach Rankin knows, keep them inside. If you watch what Goodpasture tried to do, they tried to get Mays to the edge, and Alcoa would not let him go there. And Robinson right there gets in, good strip, pops it out. Everybody jump on board. Look at all those red shirts and not many white shirts.
It was Sam Thompson who had the ball initially. They ended up cradling it between his legs, and he had some teammates that jumped on it. And here we are back in the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee red zone. Here's the pitch. Hodge flashes into 2 tacklers, and the man that took the punishment was Michael Rogan. He made the tackle.
And you see again, every time Alcoa's tried to go to the edges, they struggled. When they keep hitting it up the middle, they got a chance.
Now, Pat, this is what you like. You like collisions.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. And Rogan, I got a chance to see this Goodpasture team earlier in the year. Rogan is a monster as a safety. Hits everything in sight. He likes the contact, and he'll make things happen.
Cobb from the shotgun keeps it. And Goodlow wraps him up and won't let him get past the 10. So the whistle blows. Cobb wouldn't go down.
Nope.
The tackle was made by Thomas Goodlow. He had to get some cleanup from Benji Cunningham.
And
so now a 3rd down coming up.
I like the aggressiveness of Goodpasture as they start to run blitz the corner and put a little bit of pressure instantly. They have to keep holding up the middle and somehow, some way, slow down the big boys.
This is a huge series right here. Although Goodpasture has an explosive offense, they do not want to fall behind 14-0.
I look for Randall Cobb to have a run-pass option here. Roll to the wide side of the field, give him a choice, running and passing, and make Goodpasture move.
Alcoa can get a first down. They give it to Hodge. He's going to come up about a half a yard shy. He needed to get to the 1. Let's see where they spot him.
They go right back to their bread and butter, right up the gut. They take number 21, Hodge, and they say, go get it. And they'll go for it. I'll bet you any amount of money Coach Rankin's going to go for this.
Goodpasture has not shown that they can stop the short yardage plays thus far. There's been a couple of them for Alcoa, but here's a 4th down, a chance for Goodpasture to turn the momentum if they can somehow come up with a spot here. Cougars fumbled on their only offensive play. They go for the shotgun on 4th down. Here comes Cobb to the end zone. Touchdown.
Student body right.
He just angled behind the sea of maroon.
Well, what they did is they took the 2 backs, they winged them both to the right side, and they said, you guys lead. Cobb's going to punch it in.
So 2 scores for Alcoa in the opening minutes.
And I remember seeing this kid Cobb as a sophomore, and I thought he was unbelievable back then. Now all of a sudden as a senior, he brings it back again.
Brodus misses the extra point. So it'll say 13-0 as we take another look at Cobb's score.
Right behind the 2 big backs and his right tackle.
I was a little surprised they went shotgun.
Yeah, Coulter, the right tackle, got a little bit of shot in the back of it. Hey, basically Cobb was telling his right tackle, either you move him or I'm moving you.
So a 13-0 score for the Tornadoes. And Pat, your key to the game was get ahead early. Well, they're ahead early.
Oh, I guarantee you, some of the kids on the Goodpasture sideline, doubt has to be sinking in. They have to be saying to themselves, oh no, not again. And you know what? Even the coaching staff, Coach Martin, he's a great football coach, but it does sink in. You don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. But when it happens, you tend to believe it.
Well, it's a shock, too. I mean,
oh, no question. One play on offense.
Mays had the ball. He was on his way down. It was a loss, but late in that carry to get stripped, I mean, it had to stun everybody on that side.
And I did like the play call was the sweep. Try to get Mays or Cunningham, one of those guys, to the edge.
So Brodus will kick it off after missing the extra point. He bombed the first kickoff into the end zone. This one more of a line drive. Cunningham lets it go out of bounds. So good field position will be coming for Goodpasture. 13-0 Alcoa. They marched down the field on their first drive, picked up a turnover, and cashed it in for a second.
Kick out of bounds. Goodpasture will take the ball on the 35.
So now we know Brodus he's either a home run or a strikeout. Unfortunately, sorry about that, big fella.
He's got 2 home runs and 2 strikeouts. He's 1 for 2 on extra points and 1 great kickoff, 1 lousy one. As we take a look once again at our Governor's Highway Safety Office starting lineup, reminding you, booze it and lose it. There's your offensive line, a brand new offensive line for Goodpasture. They'll get tested here. Aaron Gillespie gets the first carry, gain of about 1, that's all.
And you don't want to go there, and this guy has already made a serious impact. Tyler Robinson again.
Now we'll take a look at that Tornado defense, get a closer look. There's up front, Robinson has already made a big name for himself. Seth Coulter has been to every Alcoa game since he was 6 years old. How about that?
Wow.
Have a look at the middle. Hodge, he made 12 tackles in last year's championship game, and Sam Thompson is the ball hawk in that secondary. Inside handoff, Tracy Mays, great cutback to get anything, but he only gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, Alcoa has done just what the doctor ordered defensively. Bottle it in, force it back to the middle, let your big boys feast. And that's what they've done. They've set the point on the edges and funneled everything back in. Don't let Goodpasture get around the edge.
Troy Hodge anchors that defense, had some help from Herbert. You get a good look at him there. He's only a sophomore.
Ooh, he's a good one too.
3rd and long for Goodpasture. They'll go from the shotgun. Mahan needs a big play. Tosses it out, has a man. This will be a first down. It's a nice catch by John Hambrick, his 34th catch of the season, and that was a clutch one. Sam Thompson made the tackle, but Goodpasture had a much needed first down. Let's go down to Anthony.
Well, Willie, we had a little bit of that ever-popular bulletin board material take place during the week when Cougar halfback Tracy Mays said that he was looking forward to playing Alcoa again for the 3rd year in a row. Spoke to both coaches about that before the game. Gary Rankin simply said, we had it up on the board. David Martin didn't have a problem with it. He said he wants his players to come out here with that kind of attitude.
Well, that's why they call it bulletin board material. Rankin put it on the bulletin board. Here's Benji Cunningham. Gets hot from the line of scrimmage. Hard hitting downstairs.
I'm going to tell you right now, Alcoa, Hodge, Troy Hodge is a beast. He comes as hard as he can.
This is some good collisions. He got popped twice.
Robinson got him once, and he got dinged. He got a little bit of the brunt on that one, and then Hodge cleaned it up with another big shot.
86, Josh Dossett.
I'm sorry, Dossett.
He got shaken up on that play. Dished out a little too much punishment. Second and long for the Cougars. Mahan wants to throw. His first guy wasn't there. Now he's going to take it to the outside. Good gainer. Mahan showing his speed. This is his first year as a starter. He had to wait behind Coleman Stroud, who started each of the last 2 championship games, and Mahan showed him some good quicks on that play.
And he played a little bit last year, if you remember.
Yeah, he came off the bench.
Early in the year, he played too, and I remember seeing him against Lipscomb early in the year. Mahan, he's a good quarterback. He's smart. He knows his limitations, which is very critical for a football player, is know what you can do, but also know what you can't do.
Goodpasture picked up a 3rd and long on the first series. Now this will be 3rd and 7. Mahan throws the slant. Good catch. And a first down. Turner Cripps moves the change and is inside the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 36. A clutch catch.
I like what Coach Martin has decided to do. Watch the slant, drives it in, good catch, pitch and catch. That's all it takes. But what they've done is Coach Martin realizes that Alcoa has brought 9 guys into the box. That's a lot of people to stop the run.
Daring them to throw, and Mahan has shown so far that he can throw it.
Got to keep him honest.
Now the fullback, Gillespie. Short gain on first down, trying to pick his way for a couple extra yards. Dossett makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd and about 7.
And you got to do that. You got to pound them, soften up. It's like a boxer. You punch the body, then you go for the head.
They have to find a way to run some inside. They are very quick outside. Goodpasture is, but they have to find a way to keep the defense on.
If they don't bring the defense in, you'll never get to the edge. And Alcoa knows that, so right now they're saying, go ahead, try to run it up the gut.
2nd down and 7. Here's the sweep. Mays gets outside, turns the corner. Mays swallowed up by Thompson right at the sticks. He'll be about a yard short. Looked like he might have turned that into a big play, but an excellent tackle by Sam Thompson, the senior safety, who was basically the only safety they list. They have more of a rover. They go 4-4-3.
Right, and right here, take a look. Mays on the sweep, a good handoff by Mahan. Mays on the sweep, he tries to get to the edge, he throttles down. I think he debated on whether to spin out, and then he realized, uh-oh, here comes somebody else.
Boy, not a fortunate spot for Goodpasture on that play either.
No.
Didn't think they gave him the forward progress he deserved. And now Goodpasture will have to pick up a 3rd straight 3rd down conversion here. It's 3rd and 3.
And they're getting 9 in the box again.
Inside handoff. Rogan is going to move the chains. He should have the first down. Rogan really popped that inside.
He is, I really think Rogan is the unsung hero of this Goodpasture team. Every time people talk about the Goodpasture running backs, the first name is Mays and the second name is Cunningham, and rightfully so, they're dynamic. Rogan does all the dirty work. He will hit it up the middle. He'll work the edge. He plays an outstanding safety. He is the unsung hero of this Goodpasture football team.
Tracy Mays, 890 yards. He's number 22. You see him right there. Benji Cunningham, number 24, has 16 touchdowns and over 700 yards. Michael Rogan, who just picked up that first down, just under 600 yards and 10 touchdowns. So those 3 guys do most of the work.
Rogan does all the dirty work, and Gillespie, the fullback, he'll pound it up the gut too.
So inside to Mays. Mays cuts back, and a good spin gets to the 20-yard line for about a 4-yard gain on first down.
And I see what Coach Martin sees right now. They've bottled up the edges. They are putting the safeties up high onto the edges of the box and saying, hey, you guys have run first. I know you safeties, but it's run first, pass second, which is why the slant worked a little bit earlier. Don't be surprised if Coach Martin knows he's got to throw the ball again.
Well, one thing about Goodpasture, you know what they're going to come at you with. They have been running this offense for years to perfection. Their execution is excellent. Mahan on second down wants to throw. Steps up, throws outside, but over the target. Gillespie couldn't get up high enough. Pretty good coverage.
Excellent
on
coverage.
The play.
And like I said, Coach Martin knows he had to throw it. There's just too many bodies up there. There's too many people around the line of scrimmage for you to just keep pounding it.
You saw 28 DeAndre Herbert. Good coverage there for the sophomore. 3rd down and 6. So here we go again. They're 3 for 3 on this drive, picking up the third downs.
None bigger than this.
Mahan, quick drop. To the outside, has his man. A nice catch.
Nice little stick route.
Out of bounds goes John Hambrick for his second catch of the drive and his second catch on third down.
Good play call. They know they got single coverage. Everybody's man-to-man back there. Mahan knows, hey, take the easiest throw, and that's the guy that had the softest cushion.
Boy, you talk about some clutch throws on this drive.
Mahan's done a great job. And really, it's to keep this Alcoa defense honest. And you know what? Don't be surprised. Coach Rankin won't change. He's going to continue to force Mahan to throw the football.
We've got a sideline warning against Alcoa.
So we have a sideline warning there as we tell you, once again, Pat, this is exciting. We are in the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee red zone once again. And I think it will not be our last trip.
No, I think we'll be there quite a few times.
These offenses score points in bushels.
So hopefully the scoreboard guy is ready to keep clicking those numbers.
Goodpasture would like to change the scoreboard. Gillespie on first down, dances to about the 10. He'll get about 3 on first down.
I'm telling you, it's tough sledding in there. If you look at what they've done defensively, the other thing I like what Alcoa's done is everybody's two-gapping. Everybody's holding their man, look at right here, holding their gap, fit, step up, safeties, linebackers fill it right now.
Boy, DeAndre Herbert, for a sophomore, seems to be in on every play.
Herbert and Hodge are the two that have just hit everything in sight.
This is likely to be the final play of the first quarter. Mays on the sweep once again, tries to find some room. Gets inside the 10 to about the 5, dove towards the first down marker. And with 1 second on the clock here in the first quarter,
it'll bring up another
third down. And I think Goodpasture would probably like to keep it going. Their momentum is working, so why not have this play here rather than change ends of the field?
Can I be honest with you? You don't want all these third downs.
Well, no, I know you don't want the third downs, but I'm saying I'd rather have this play with 1 second in the first quarter than have to change it all and move all the way down.
Absolutely. Why break the string? Why break the momentum? But you got to convert. There's been a ton of these third downs, and here it is again.
Huge play. 3rd and 2 for the Cougars. What do they run? Mahan up the middle. Nothing doing on the first gap. And a 4th down will be happening when we start the second quarter.
As they fed, I think it's Rogan.
So that's the end of the first quarter. As Goodpasture will have a gigantic 4th down when we come back. 13-0 Alcoa.
The gestation.
Big 4th down for Goodpasture as we pick up the action in the second quarter. 4th and 2, Rogan tries to get around. He doesn't have much room, and he is short.
And we talked about it in the break. You said, hey, what do you call? I said, I don't think they'll get to the edge. I think that they have everybody at the line. The safeties are firing up. They're going to force them to belly it wider and take it deeper, and they did. And sure enough, Alcoa comes up with another big stop. But somebody very important is limping his way off the field, and that's Troy Hodge, the running back.
So Hodge will come off. He is normally the tailback. Alcoa's defense was all over that play.
Well, what they did is they set the point on the edge and forced the back to belly deeper. If you're going east and west, you're not going to get that first down. There's no chance.
JaRon Toney, a 155-pound sophomore, is in the game. Oh, by the way, he rushed for almost 1,000 yards. He gets it right here.
Good play.
And is stopped on first down.
That's a big play right there. Right now, if you're Goodpasture, you have to get a 3 and out.
So Goodpasture has a 16-play drive and gets no points. And it's reminiscent of last year's game. That happened to them a couple of times last year where they just could not cash in on a good long drive where they moved the ball. And they, as a result, were not able to stay in the game last year. So that's got to bring back some bad memories for David Martin and his sideline. Now they've got to somehow pick it up and get the ball back.
They got to be a little bit frustrated right now. Here you go, Cobb to the air.
Throws deep. Got a man behind the defense, but it's way over his head.
Actually,
Sam Thompson with double coverage.
It was good coverage. It was excellent coverage. Cunningham knew what was going on. Watch, take a peek right here. Cunningham rode him into Rogan. Watch right, play action. Nobody bites in the secondary. You know you got to go long. Get right there. Good. You know what? That's a great throw by Cobb. I'm going to say this right now. You say, oh, wow, it's incomplete. That's still a good throw. Go long, throw long. Your guy gets it. Nobody gets it. Go to the next play.
So 3rd and 9 as a result. But that has not been a problem thus far for the Tornadoes. Goodpasture has had no answers defensively as of yet. They go from the shotgun.
2 wides now.
Cobb has both run and thrown off this, and he's going to run it here.
Good call.
And he is going to have the first down.
That's why he's Mr. Football.
So Cobb really got that with ease. He was able to get up to full steam before he was touched by any white shirts.
He is so talented. Look at that. He, even with a little bit of a slip, just fields his way, gives a straight arm, turns, finds the first down marker, gets it, moves the chains.
Tyler Lovell made a really good open field tackle, but not before a 15-yard gain.
And right now, Goodpasture has to have something good happen.
Hodge still out. Toney's in the backfield. He'll get it here.
Bounces. Good tackle again. Good open field tackle right there.
Another one from Lovell. One on each side of the field on the last 2 players.
Lovell's a hard-nosed guy. I saw him against Lipscomb, like I said earlier in the year. Him and Rogan and Gillespie, those guys there, they play tough, hard-nosed football. Lovell's a good football player. Made a big interception in that Lipscomb game.
A lot of seniors on this Goodpasture team that were playing behind last year's senior group. But this is a really strong pair of classes for Goodpasture.
Well, the dilemma is that the interior guys, they lost a couple pretty good football players up front.
Cobb looking deep, now going to run it.
And there's the effect of it.
To the outside, he spins to the 30, still on his feet. He's got a first down almost after the 40. That's why he's Mr. Football.
It's our favorite line. Watch him here. He just makes things happen. I said it, you know, just when you think the play's over, it's not, because Randall Cobb is not going to let it. Oh, Big Boy's had himself a whale of a game. Big Robinson, huh? Number 89, the tight end.
He's your kind of guy, Pat. He likes to just run into people. He's just
question.
knocking people all over
no
the place.
question. And they fed him. They gave him a little biscuit. Yeah, have a touchdown.
They've got 2 good tight ends.
Now go knock people around.
You just saw Adrian Womac, number 90.
Yeah, he's a good one,
So
too.
he and Tyler Robinson, a couple of pretty good players. Cobb goes back to the ground. This time up the middle to Taharin Tyson. He's a freshman, by the way. Some of these guys don't look like freshmen. I looked a little different when I was a freshman.
Yeah, I didn't look like that either.
Look at this guy.
I was a portly little fellow. A 5'10", 220-pound freshman. Yeah, I'll tell you, Gary Rankin's loading up for long-term success for this Alcoa squad.
2nd down, 4 yards to go. 9 minutes to play, first half. Alcoa on the move again. Broken play. Cobb trying to make something out of it. And does.
Broken play.
Well, it wasn't broken too bad.
A broken play that he can fix.
Here's what I like about this, Pat. Now watch as he turns the corner. Watch the stutter step once he decides to get it going here. Watch, he's got this shuffle cut. Well, this is the one before here. Look at it. He's got it right there. Then the spin. Look at that. Those little stutter, choppy steps right there. That's the mark of a good, yeah.
It's the old shake and bake. Shake, bake, and down.
I could do one or the other, but usually not both.
You just shake.
Or bake.
He's, I told you, he's a dynamic player. I knew when he was a sophomore he was going to be like that.
First down, outside, Toney. Toney turns the corner, is pulled out of bounds by Gillespie. 2 flags come down.
I think that might be a face mask.
Another big gainer for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Goodpasture, you're looking for any bright spot to spark you. You need something, anything, something.
Well, they had a nice drive on their last possession.
They really did.
It just killed them not to get in the end zone.
When you don't score, it's all for naught.
Now, what we don't know here is this a 5-yarder or a 15-yarder?
I'll tell you in a second. That could be the 15. No, that's a 5.
I say that's
a 5. Let's see what they mark off.
There was a personal foul.
Oh, they're giving him the
Face
15.
mask against Goodpasture. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. First down.
There you go. And if you're Coach Martin, you're
More bad news.
I'm telling you, it's sinking in. I hate to say it, and Coach Martin's such a good football coach, but the truth is, it's got to be sinking in. Oh my gosh, how do I stop the bleeding?
Well, 2 years ago is when the game went more like this, and Alcoa just dominated in that first half. and had it put away. Last year they were able to stay in the game through 3 quarters. Cobb gonna run it. Spins. That spin move is really working well, but Gillespie with a great tackle downfield.
You know, I was talking about the spin move today, actually, to somebody, and we were just saying the one thing about the spin move I don't like, it exposes the football. It really, it's a you know, yeah, some guys can do it, but the ball is exposed briefly, and the opportunity to force a fumble becomes greater. And that's one thing you got to be very cautious about. Right down here, if you're Goodpasture, you're hoping people keep spinning, and you get a shot to force a fumble.
9th play of the drive here in the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee red zone. Alcoa marching down the field once again. Hodge back in the game, and he's stopped.
That's a big play right there.
This will bring up a 3rd down.
And that's key. You get them into a 3rd down, and maybe they kick a field goal, which keeps the score at 16, which is only 2 scores.
That would be big. 3rd down and 2 coming up. There is Gary Rankin. For years and years, seemed like he was at this stadium with slightly different colors on as the coach of Riverdale. Made it to the finals what seemed like every year. Won 4 titles for the Warriors. We're moving to Alcoa last year. 7:16 to play in the first half. 3rd down coming up. Cobb somehow finds some room and gets into the end zone. Boy, great acceleration.
You know who he I know this sounds crazy. Reminds you of Tim Tebow with what he's doing. You know, he runs the ball, he throws the ball, he works off play action.
Left-handed?
Left-handed. I mean, he's got all the same look at that. He runs with power. Everybody looks at him and says, oh, you know, he's not that big a guy. He runs with serious power. Keeps his pad level low. Very impressive, and now they'll go for 2.
He's waited his turn. A couple of years ago as a sophomore, backed up. Started the game last year, went 9 for 13 with a couple of touchdown passes, and he has showcased his abilities early in this game so far. They'll go for 2 to try to make up for the earlier missed extra point. Cobb on the 3-step drop, going to run it all by himself. Easy 2-pointer. 21-0 Tornadoes. So in Knoxville, they are really getting revved up as Alcoa is going for a 4th straight championship.
It's designed as a run-pass option for him. Give it to him.
21-0 Tornado. Randall Cobb has run for 2 touchdowns and thrown for a 3rd. He's also run for another 2-point conversion. Coming up at halftime, the guys will be able to recap it as the Better Living Patio halftime report will be coming up. Here's the kickoff.
Another home run.
Here's the home run. And Cunningham took it in the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. Let's take a look at the patio over there. Better Living Patio halftime report coming up. Better Living, Tennessee's favorite sunroom and home improvement company. The boys are set up nicely there. And it's a nice night. Hey, you don't need to be inside tonight.
That's right.
You don't even there have been some years where the place to be would be in that patio. If you were down on that sideline, you were dying to get in that thing. Very nice weather in Murfreesboro.
Goodpasture needs a big play quick.
Their last drive, they had 16 plays, but couldn't score. Now Goodlow up the middle, pounding his way for a first down.
No, it's not. It's Goodlow. You're right.
Thomas Goodlow, the senior, really popped some pads there. Good run. That's probably the longest run of the night so far for Goodpasture.
Big, strong fullback, follows his lineman, pounds it up in there. And there's a good, you know, and that's something, you know, you work off of it. Okay, come on, guys, keep it rolling. That's what coaches should be saying.
First down from the 41. Inside handoff, Cunningham, big hole. Tripped over his own man, but got 9 on the play.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen Cunningham since he was a freshman. He is the real McCoy. You want to talk about some speed? He's got some speed. Watch this. Watch his burst through the hole. And, yeah, the turf monster got him.
It was the sniper in the turf.
Little hand came up and snatched his toe.
He was trying to put it in another gear. And in the field turf, these are guys that haven't played much on the field turf. Goodlow tries to find the sticks.
I think he's
Should be shy by a yard.
And guess what's next? Another third down.
Third down. Seth Coulter, we mentioned earlier, he has seen every Alcoa game since he was 6 years old. Number 55.
Is that unbelievable? That's
impressive.
Well, you know what that tells you? You want to talk about pride? That kid has serious, serious Tornado pride.
There's a good look at Seth. 230-pound senior. Third down coming up. Cunningham dives into the line.
I think he's got it. Oh,
It's
maybe
close.
not at the guy at the top.
It's close.
Depends who gives him the spot.
Nothing has come easy for Goodpasture tonight.
They're going to measure.
It is awfully close.
I think he's got it.
You're saying he's got it?
I think he's got it literally by 2 centimeters.
So you're saying before the strings of the football,
I'm going to say
the nose of the ball.
It's right just past the nose.
All right, let's take a look here. You see the strings, you see the stripe. Let's see if Pat's right. Right on it. Nicely done, partner. Good news for that man.
You think?
He said, we've got to get this first down. This is a must score here for Goodpasture. They've had some great comebacks this year.
And they really, when you look at it, the way they, went up and down the field, they know they can do some things, but now it's finishing it. You got to finish it.
So first down from the 41. Mahan on first down is going to throw, and it's over the head of his intended receiver. Look for handbrake. There is a flag on the play.
That might be rough in the passing.
No, it's to the outside, so I think it had to do with the receiver. Maybe a hold or a pass interference.
We're going to find out right now. Yep, pass interference.
Referee's taking a little extra time.
He's asking if the ball was tipped. That's what he's asking right now. Or is it offensive pass?
Now Alcoa is pointing as if it's on Goodpasture.
Push off.
Now Cobb is just jumping in the huddle, trying to take over what the referees are doing. Here's the verdict.
We have an illegal formation, 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, first down.
All right, so 1st and 15. After all that, they were trying to determine, I guess, if he was lined up on or off the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. You have to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage.
There's a good look at Whit Mahan.
And that's, I always put that on the quarterback. The quarterback is the general out there. He's got to make sure everybody's lined up right.
Mahan thus far, 3 out of 4 through the air. That one didn't count. Here's the option. Cunningham trying to get to the outside. Spins back to the inside across midfield. And so he gets a good chunk of that yardage back. Connor Miles picked up the tackle.
And a great job by Mahan. This is what you want out of your quarterback. You hold it to the last possible second, which he did. And there's Big Robinson. You're not going to run with 24. 24 got some jets now.
Take a look at it behind. It looks like he's going to take it to the outside, and this is a pretty good cutback and spin. The spin has been popular tonight, though.
Yeah, the spin. He's got some jets now. If Cunningham gets into the open field, other than one time the T&MT got after him.
He got 11 back. Now from way behind the line, May's trying to turn it upfield. Then he gets the first down.
And I just gave Mahan kudos, okay? The first time he ran the option. The second time, he pitches this ball way too early. What you have to do when you're the quarterback and you come down the line of scrimmage, you have to get the EMLOS, M-man on the line of scrimmage, to come and commit to you. He does not do it this time. He gives it up early. There's no need for that. You've got to keep coming down the line and threaten that defensive end, Dawson.
And a good job running over JaLik Toney to get to the first down. Nice run for Mays. Now it's Cunningham's turn.
On the counter. Nice play call.
Pushes the pile and gets about 4 on first down.
And I like the play call. I like the counter coming back. You popped him a couple times with the option, then you come with the counter. Good play call right there.
There is a rhythm to Goodpasture's offense when they've got it cranking. And this is a team that can go 3 or 4 straight weeks scoring 35, 45 points.
Don't forget, they scored 63 on Pope John Paul earlier in the year.
2nd down and 6. Mahan, quick give to the fullback, Goodlow. He got drilled.
Another one trying to
lost
spin.
his momentum and then got it back forward again for a gain of 3. And a good block there, Pat, by Wilson Mbibano.
Good job.
Hey, I got to get that. I
it.
want his mom to know we have really practiced that name. And he's a big guy.
Mbibano. I wasn't going to try it.
Get that, guys. All right, let's go down to Anthony Heron.
Well, guys, I figure since we're at the Blue Cross Bowl, we should probably talk to the people from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. We have Ms. Gina Beaver here. She's the representative from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tell the folks a little bit about just your organization, what you guys are doing here.
Sure, we've been a sponsor of the Division I Blue Cross Bowl for 8 years. We've been a sponsor of the Division II games for
We have
3
delay of
years. So it's
game.
really great. We have a great partnership with TSSAA. It's a long-standing one that we want to continue. We work with them a lot. It's really great.
And one of the things that's come up in sports in recent years is some of the performance-enhancing drugs, and it's kind of started to infiltrate high schools a little bit. Is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee doing anything to try to squelch that problem?
We are. We're doing a lot, and TSSAA is a really critical part of our healthy competition program. We help educate coaches, athletes, and their parents about the dangers of using performance-enhancing substances and giving them some healthy alternatives with nutrition tips as well as training tips to help them compete drug-free.
And do you pay attention to the athletes on the field also? Is it a sportsmanship issue? Is that something you guys try to stress as well?
That's something that the TSSAA does a really good job, so we kind of just focus on the health aspects of being healthy, learning some healthy habits at a young age, which these young people are really doing. So we just focus on the health and leave sportsmanship up to TSSAA.
All right, Jenny, we look forward to hearing more throughout the weekend. Thank you. Back to you guys.
4th down coming up in punt formation for the Cougars. Rather than go for it here on the 38, they're going to try to punt the Tornadoes deep.
High snap.
They really had to run that one down. Andrew Rushing had to do it, and a pretty good punt inside the 15-yard line. They're going to mark it out of bounds.
Right at the 10.
At the 10. Are you surprised they didn't go for it there?
No, I'm not. I think it's the right. If it was a 4th and maybe 3 or 4, I would have done it. A 4th and 9 from your own 40-some-odd yard line, that's probably a smarter move. Don't give them a short field with 3 minutes to go because it could be 28 zip.
So another promising drive for Goodpasture stalls, and they get no points. So we've got the Better Living Patio halftime report coming up. Paul Jones, Murphy Fair will be taking it.
Fullback.
And up the middle goes Tyson. Another good gain on 1st down.
I like Tyson. He's a good little football player, isn't he?
Well, Gary Rankin told me earlier this week, he said, we've got some guys who, if they can do the right things and keep getting better, they're going to be great football players. And he was talking about Tyson. He was talking about DeAndre Herbert. I mean, he's got some guys.
He's talking about Robinson. He's got some guys.
Outside, Hodge. Hit hard at the 20. Stays on his feet. And it'll be a 1st down. Well, I'll tell you what. Goodpasture's delivering some hits, but they're not wrapping up.
No, they're really not. And that's one of the fundamentals you have to make sure you do as a defense. A good defense tackles well. Watch Tyson on the lead block now.
And there it is. There's the hit by Gillespie, but didn't get the arms around.
And it just moves the chains and eats up more clock. And, you know, you're digging a little bit of a hole. Don't be surprised if Gary Rankin takes a shot at a big play.
Randall Cobb, so far in this game, 72 yards rushing. And this time he'll get a chance to throw it. Comes it deep. Sam Thompson can't quite get the arms outstretched.
I had a feeling. I know Coach Rankin. I've had some great talks with Coach Rankin before games when he was at Riverdale. We sat in his office a bunch and just kind of, shot the breeze. And sure enough, I knew it was coming. It was either going to be some type of trick play, a little bit of a dagger. They call it a dagger play where you try to kind of just break their back, destroy their will. And he tried it right there with the flea flicker.
Well, that man right there, Gary Rankin, really likes Randall Cobb, but he said that one thing about Cobb, even though he won Mr. Football, they probably, all in all, kept his numbers down. He could have had even more gaudy stats, but they like to spread the ball around. Here's Cobb getting gang tackled after a gain of 3.
And don't forget, Cobb is a starting corner, too. I mean, he's given Cobb enough opportunities to play a bunch of reps, and he's one of those guys. He's a special football player. He's a dominant high school, and he's coached some pretty good ones. He had Dave Thomas out at Riverdale, who was a Mr. Football winner in 5A. Just a great player. Now playing at Memphis, he's had some pretty good football players. And Gary Rankin knows what to do with those kind of special players.
So a 3rd down coming up, 3 on the play clock. Tornadoes are going to have to hurry. They just do get it off on 3rd down. Cobb rolling to his left, going over the middle. There's that guy again.
Nope.
And he didn't quite come up with it. Pass was just a little underthrown to Tyler Robinson, who has a touchdown tonight.
And it'll bring up a 4th down unless there's a penalty. No, it's a 4th down.
And so for the first time, we will see that Alcoa, contrary to some belief, does have a punt team. They haven't had to punt much this year.
They're kind of like the Indianapolis Colts. If you look at them, they only punt once a game.
So back in punt formation is Sam Thompson, who does a little bit of everything for this team. He's a wide receiver, he's a safety, he's been through a lot of games. One of the few guys who has played a big role for this team in a lot of these championship games, and he launches this one. Mays catches it at the 40. He's got some quips. Spins out of one tackle, still on his feet. Into Alcoa territory, and Thompson makes the tackle at the 35.
And that might just be what the doctor ordered. I said a special teams play is critical. Tracy Mays makes a big one right there and flips the field. Instead of starting, watch where he gets this right about his own 40, and off he goes, gets a spin out right there, picks up an extra 15, 20 yards, and puts them in great field position at the 35-yard line. They have to get points with 45 seconds on the clock.
Only 45 seconds. They do have 3 timeouts after the 28-yard return of the punt by Mays. Mayhem on a 3-step drop, throws deep. Hambrick can't catch up to it. This one well out of bounds.
That's a tough throw right there. That's a, I mean, the wind started to pick up. If you look at the flags to our left, you can see the wind's picked up, and it's starting to move. You see it right there. All of a sudden, the wind's starting to move the ball to that end zone. So anything that you throw deep is going to carry, and I'm sure Mahan hasn't played on a field like this in his high school career.
40 seconds now for the Cougars. They really would like to get on the board here. 35 yards away from pay dirt. Here's a reverse.
Double reverse.
Hambrick doesn't like what he sees. He is going the wrong way, folks. Great job by Alcoa.
That Robinson again.
Herbert and Robinson.
They run the sweep. It's a reverse back. And he right there, he thought about it, and he probably should have done it. If you see it right there, Hambrick has a chance to cut it up into the center of the field, and instead changes his mind.
So Goodpasture now has to go back to the drawing board. They call a timeout. They've got 2 left, 26 seconds to go, 3rd and 20.
And that's
field goal probably not an option.
Well, you're at the 45-yard line. I don't think so unless you have Joe the Toe.
Who is he playing for these days, Pat?
I don't know.
Joe the Toe. But even if you get in field goal range, I suppose you would have to try it.
Well, you
to
got
get
the
some
wind.
points.
The good thing is you got the wind at your back, so I guess that's a plus. The minus of it is it's 3rd and 20,
and you're down 21.
And as a coach, you have that play. That play call sheet. You see all these coaches that they have in their hand.
Yeah.
Usually 3rd and 20. You know what it says over there? It says you're in trouble.
Well, 3rd and 20 it is for the Cougars. So a 10-yard loss. That was a big play. They saved the reverse, and then Hambrick, he couldn't decide whether he wanted to try to cut it up or keep taking it around.
If he cut it up the middle, I think he had some turf to move. Instead, he kept it running.
Mahan setting up a screen. Cunningham has it, dances away from one guy, gets to the 40, and another timeout will have to be called here.
But I bet you they won't call it till there's about 4 or 5 seconds on the clock, and then he can try maybe a Hail Mary. That's what I would do if I were the coach.
Well, they haven't called anything yet.
Right, I'd call it with right about 4 seconds on the clock.
And they aren't going to take it.
Okay.
They play out the half.
Oh boy.
Goodpasture is down 21-0 at the end of the first half. A clinic run by quarterback Randall Cobb. 11 carries for 76 yards. He's run for 2 touchdowns plus a 2-point conversion. He's thrown a touchdown pass as well. Let's go down to Anthony Herron.
Folks, we got Gary Rankin down here. Coach, 21-0 at the half. Did you expect your defense to be able to shut them out like that?
Not at all. Our defense has played tremendous. They've got a great offensive football team, and to shut them out for one half is a great accomplishment. But that's only one half. They've been down. They've been down in a lot of games this year and come back. So we got to come back out strong on defense.
Do you expect Randall Cobb to ever run out of big plays? It seems like he makes them whenever you need him.
He's making plays. Randall's a great player and had a great half.
All right, good luck in this half, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Back to you, folks.
Gary Rankin halfway to his 6th state championship. Alcoa halfway to their 4th straight state championship. 21-0 at the break. Alcoa with a 21-point advantage as we get set for the second half. Goodpasture has some work to do. Their coach David Martin caught up with our Anthony Heron moments ago.
Folks, we got Coach David Martin. Coach, you were able to move the ball on him at different times in the first half, but you couldn't quite get it in the end zone.
No, we did not do a good job of finishing drives. We got some good movement of the ball down the field, and we just got it down here and couldn't stick it in the end zone, and we made a couple mistakes and penalties that kind of stopped some drives. Defensively, we gave up some big plays, but we started kind of getting it on the ground on defense and playing better. So we gotta make a lot of improvements second half.
How do you go about trying to corral Randall Cobb? He's such a playmaker.
Well, he is, and he's very elusive, and we've done some things in the first half that we were supposed to not rush him as hard and keep him in the pocket, and we kind of got a little out of our zone and got after him a little fast and gave him some seams. And when you do that as fast as he is, he's going to make some plays.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you in this half.
Thank you.
Back to you, fellas.
Thank you, Anthony. 11 carries for 76 yards, 2 touchdowns for the quarterback, Randall Cobb. Let's go into the Alcoa locker room and hear what Gary Rankin had to say to his troops.
Okay, now when we go here, you get motion. Walk up and do what? Walk up and do what when you get motion to you? Okay, when that wing reaches you, what are you doing to it? You clamp storming. You clamp storm. We work blitz for 2 weeks against Gatlinburg Hickman. You get up there, you lean into and dip rip, and you clamp storm it. You take that thing. Do not. If it gets to the sideline, I'm gonna pull it. Okay.
Pat, interpretation of the coach speak there.
I've never even heard of that term, clamp storm.
It sounded good though, didn't it?
It did sound good.
I like it.
You clamp storm them. Okay. I think it might be like.
So watch out if you're the wing back for the clamp storm.
I think what it is it's almost like inside arm and fight them off inside arm and basically squeeze the gap. I think that's what he was trying to say is you just keep squeezing the hole so there's no seam inside.
Well, I thought they did a pretty good job with the clamp storm in the first half.
They clamp stormed it all right. Incredible.
Well, Goodpasture will get the ball to start the second half. And as you heard David Martin, the disappointment of the first half was not being able to finish the drives. They did get some reasonable action going with their offense. They got some first downs, but in particular the 16-play drive that came up short really hurt. But they're going to have to forget about that and try to come out and score a touchdown on this drive, get back in.
The other thing that kind of jumped out at me is I think he was telling his guys the lane integrity of their pass rush allowed Cobb to find seams. What that means is when you rush the passer, you have your 2 inside guys push straight up the field, soft push, and your outside guys come around the edges and basically squeeze that pocket. So you basically collapse it around him rather than give him a seam when one guy's undisciplined and cheats to one side or the other. Cobb's going to see it, and off to the races he goes.
Goodpasture has had some tough come-from-behind wins this year. In fact, one of them against CPA. The Lions had them down 19 with 13 minutes gone by into the game. But in the regular season finale, Goodpasture came storming back and won that 43-32. They also came back the following week and beat CPA again in the first round, 47-41 in overtime. They've also had a couple of games where they haven't led throughout regulation, but got it into OT and won. So Goodpasture can come from behind, but they seem to be facing an opponent on a different level as we get set to start second half play.
Home run.
And this one is into the end zone, the automatic touchback. So that's the third touchback forced by Derek Brodus, who's done a good job kicking tonight.
Yeah. I mean, sophomore.
He's got 3 home runs.
That's right. Well, one of the things that we talked to a couple of media people up here about the kicking situation.
They've tried some different guys.
This is their third kicker.
Looks like they found the right guy.
Yeah, and he's got a strong leg now, and he's just a sophomore. Just keep him going.
They recruited him off the soccer team. They went and found the soccer players and said, let's see if we can find a guy who can kick a football. Tracy Mays on first down. Good second effort, and he's got about 8 on first down.
And nice job by the offensive line for Goodpasture as they create a little bit of a seam right behind Jeffrey Pulley, number 70, 6'5", 270 senior.
Tracy Mays in the first half had 6 carries for 13 yards.
Great job.
In motion is Cunningham. They give it back inside to Mays again. And he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Boy, in these third downs, they've had 8 opportunities at third downs in the first half. And if you take a look at what Goodpasture has done, they've converted all the third downs from 20 to 20. It's once they get inside that red zone that they had the problem with those 3rd and 4th downs.
Well, 3rd down conversions, as Pat mentioned, they did a pretty decent job. They've been in a lot of 3rd downs. They were 5 of 8 in the first half. This one 3rd and 2. Let's see what the play call is. That's Cunningham in motion. Inside handoff. Mays has the first down. So they'll move the chains.
You know what that was, right? A lack of clamp storming. Otherwise, they would have stopped that one.
Take a look at the drive chart here for Goodpasture. It's been a low possession game. They've had the ball quite a bit. Now, what really kills you, we mentioned the 16-play drive, but look at the first play of the game.
That was, I think that was almost the I guess, punch between the eyes right there, because Alcoa went down on a nice long drive, stuck it in the end zone. First play, Goodpasture gets to touch the football, and they got to give it back up again and send their defense out.
Then you saw the last drive where they got the ball in plus territory with 45 seconds, couldn't get anything with it. Here's the loop out to Goodlow on first down, a little bit behind him. He made a great effort to come up with that and paid a price.
He did pay a price, and it was number 9 right there. JaLik, Toney, the backup tailback, who lays a little bit of wood.
2nd and 10, Mahan, 4 of 8 now through the air. 2nd and 10, Goodpasture. Down 21. And trying to find ways. They've had a lot of big play capability throughout the regular season, but tonight Alcoa has really forced them to go 10 yards at a time. Mahan has a long time, throws, intercepted. Sam Thompson has it. He's got 2 blockers in front. He's to the 20, gets a big block, still in bounds, now out of bounds at the 15. Sam Thompson is a good ball hawk. That is his 5th interception of the year.
You kind of called it with Sam Thompson, a little jack of all trades, does a little bit of everything, plays receiver, plays safety, and really this is not a good throw by Mahan. And one of the things we talked about in the open, why we made him a key player, was because he had the, look at the block by Cobb. Did you see that?
That was quarterback on quarterback.
Whoa.
And Whit Mahan was the only guy back.
And like I said, with Mahan, it was his ability to manage the football game, which has made him such a good player for Goodpasture, and the Cougars need him to be productive.
Cobb keeps it again. And Goodlow makes a really good tackle at the 11. Thomas Goodlow has impressed me tonight, fullback and linebacker.
Nice football player. I mean, him and Gillespie and Rogan, that's kind of the heart and soul of the team. They don't get the big numbers or the kudos, but they make the plays.
Alcoa, 2nd down. And here we are again in the red zone, the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee red zone. Alcoa 3 for 3 so far. And outside goes Hodge, and Hodge is in for a touchdown.
Oof. I like Hodge. I think he's a good back.
Troy Hodge getting into the act. His first touchdown of the game. He was shaken up earlier. Looked good on that run, and he is in from 10 yards out.
And what they did is the double wing again. You see the double wing on the right side? I guarantee Goodpasture was thinking, here comes student body right again. And Hodge runs the counter back the other way, and they catch Goodpasture on their heels. There we go, clamp storm.
So here's Brodus, 2 for 3 on extra points. Drives that one through.
Home run.
28-0, Tornadoes. And there is Troy Hodge. Gets a good block on the outside and takes it in for a 28-0 lead. (21-0), Alcoa closing in on its 4th consecutive state title, its 3rd straight victory over Goodpasture in the finals. Goodpasture looking for answers is Brodus. Bombs it away, and this is another touchback.
Give it to him.
I can see why they thought in soccer, you see a guy on the soccer field and saying, wait, let's see if that guy can kick the pigskin. This guy just bombing those kickoffs.
Hey, you know what it reminded me of? Remember that movie with Sinbad? Kathy Island, they got off the ladies' soccer field.
That it worked well for that team.
What was that movie?
Necessary Roughness.
Necessary Roughness. That was it.
Sinbad. Wow. First down, Goodpasture, Gillespie. Good second effort. He disappeared for a while and then just kept moving along.
Popped out.
Yeah.
Again behind the big tackle. Number 70, Jeffrey Pulley again.
And there's another good shot at the sophomore, Tyler Robinson. We're going to hear about this guy.
Yeah, you're going to hear about him. I think you're going to hear about him for the next few years. And you know, if I'm a college coach, I'm like, oh my gosh, start sending letters.
There'll be a lot of letters to the Robinson household. 220 pounds, 6'2", and a sophomore.
He'll grow.
Hand keeps it, finds a seam, hit hard.
That's your guy right there.
Herbert, I like him. Only 165 pounds, but he's a sophomore.
Hey,
he flies to the football.
You know what happens? He gets there, and he gets there with impact. One of the things that I love is when a guy hits. Watch how he hits. You see him scrape, scrape, scrape. Now watch him fill. Comes up, rolls his hips. You see him roll his hips, and then bulldogs him down.
So instead of the clamp.
No clamp storm, but a hip roll.
The hip roll.
I got to find out what that term means. Anthony, next topic for you.
3rd and 4, Mahan to the outside. Hambrick, that play's been there. He breaks a tackle. Hambrick couldn't quite keep the balance, and he gets out to the 40. So a good play almost turns into a big play.
Absolutely. Just that little stick route again, and Hambrick this time breaks the tackle, and again, the turf monster gets another one.
Remember Hank Stram in that famous football film with the Chiefs where he goes, hey, Lenny. He's talking to Lenny Dawson. Just keep throwing it out there. They can't cover that in a million years. That's what it looks like here. That throw is there.
Well, they're just playing soft.
I'd want to keep going out there.
I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to throw it out there one time.
There it is.
And
Hambrick gets hit hard after the play, and there's the flag.
What's going to happen, I said, is Cobb is going to get a pick.
Well.
But number 3, again, your guy, Thompson, Sam Thompson, with another shot.
We have a lot of the coaches mic'd up throughout this time, and you can see the pass interference is being called. I'm a little surprised at that. I thought. Take a listen. Ooh, double hit. And just in case you didn't hear it the first time, listen for the 1-2.
That, you know,
15 yards, automatic first down.
I hate to say it, but, you know, as a player, that's like a dream come true, where you get a receiver coming across the middle and you're in full stride and somebody's behind him, so you know you're going to get him for the backbreaker too. And you call that a collect call from China.
I've never understood why it's China. They're not known for playing
because it's
football.
far away.
And here's a long throw down the middle.
And your guy
Mays almost had it.
Thompson again. How about Thompson? He's made some plays now.
Well, he has a really good feel for how to read the play. The wingback that time came through. They don't do that very often. They try to hit it for the big play, and Thompson was there.
That's a great play right there. You know, that's excellent safety play. He got a good shot on the slant, and then he comes back and he does a great job of taking the deep guy. Good football instincts on Thompson.
No backs. Now in motion, Cunningham. Cunningham blown up, trying to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He's gang tackled by the Tornadoes.
Look at how many red shirts.
Well, that play, it looked like almost Mahan wasn't going to be able to get the handoff or the pitch. Watch this.
Right there, he just barely gets it out. A great play again by your guy Herbert into the backfield, and then Robinson, the other puppy, makes a big play. Watch. Oh no, that was Dodge on the first hit, Hodge on the first hit, and Robinson on the second hit.
Well, what it means as an end result is 3rd and 11, but now we have a whistle. Timeout, Alcoa. We mentioned that
we have timeout.
A number of the coaches will be mic'd up, but as I was mentioning before, nobody will be able to match Hank Stram in Super Bowl IV. You've seen that, haven't you, when they beat the Vikings? Yeah. And all day long, he's all over the referees. He's talking to his team. He's talking to himself half the time.
I remember it. It's like NFL Films Classic, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know I'm talking about the 30-minute
I know what you're talking about.
He says, he calls the play out, 65 toss power, trap, etc.
That's his favorite play.
Might pop wide open, he says. Well, here's tomorrow's lineup. We're going to have 3 more of these. You'll hear more of the coaches mic'd up. Lipscomb and Fulton. Now, you say that's going to be the best game.
I think that's going to be an outstanding football game. You know, one of my favorite coaches, Glenn McAdam for Lipscomb. Fulton is always in the hunt. You're always going to see him here every year. They're just one of those teams that somehow, some way finds a way to get here. I think Maplewood, what a great story Maplewood is. And Ralph Thompson, the coach there, versus George Coles and his Maryville Army that walks in here every year.
59 in a row for Maryville.
And then the great thing, I've seen Independence and I've seen Smyrna both, and I'm so excited about that football game. That will be a fun game.
3rd and 11 for the Cougars. Up the middle they go. Gillespie spinning his way inside the 40. He's going to be about at the sticks, a yard short. Needed 11 and got 10.
It'll be 4th and 1, and David Martin, I think he has to go for it here. Down 28, 6 minutes on the clock. You have no choice.
Gillespie did a good job to get close, and so now a manageable 4th down.
He's going to call timeout.
Play clock down to 10. And the Cougars will make their way over to the sideline.
You know, that's
timeout. Goodpasture.
One thing, why you call timeout right away? You need to save every second. I mean, I'm going to call timeout immediately. If I think I need a timeout, and I know I'm going to save all 8, 9, 10, whatever seconds you can save, especially down 28.
Well, you mentioned some of the games tomorrow. And East Tennessee, we've got a lot of people watching over in that part of the state. They're watching Alcoa go for their 4th straight. Maryville is going for their 60th straight win.
Right.
Fulton is put together. I mean, they're sort of the unsung team that continues to get back here every year.
Absolutely.
They have a rematch with Lipscomb tomorrow. And so a chance again for East Tennessee, and 3 schools within just a few miles of each other.
Let me say something, and we talked about this at halftime, you and I. You look at this Alcoa team, and you say, oh, wow, they've won 4 straight. You know, the last 3 years, their lone loss has come to who? Maryville. Otherwise, they might be looking at their 60th straight win, too.
And some of the guys we've talked about, sophomores and juniors that'll be back for a year, maybe 2 years for some of them. You can't leave early from high school, so these guys are going to be tornadoes for a while. 4th and 1, Cougars. Big play for them. Mahan going to throw it. Hambrick is there, makes the catch. A short-handed receiver.
Just like you said, Lenny, just keep throwing it out there.
It's like stealing. It's like stealing, he says. Lenny Dawson, great quarterback. Hank Stram, Hall of Fame coach. That was in the days where the NFL had not merged with the AFL, and there was all that talk. This was just the year after Joe Namath made the guarantee. And the AFL smoked the NFL a couple years in a row. A couple years later, you had the merger. 1st and 10, Goodpasture. A little history lesson there, Pat.
Thanks.
Benji Cunningham back to the line, and that's about all. Goodpasture trying to get on the board here. Josh Dossett made the stop.
I'll tell you, I like their defensive ends. Alcoa, I like their defensive line, actually. Hickman and Dossett, Coulter and Robinson. That front 4 has done some damage tonight. And then their linebackers are no slouches either, starting with Herbert.
5.5 minutes to play in the 3rd. Here comes the option. Mahan has it. Good choice. To see him, dives forward, maybe a late hit. And he's marked down at the 23, and he will be very close to the first down.
He's going to be just short. But it's a good choice. That's a good job by the quarterback here on the option. Come down the line. If you do not feel anything, you turn it up just like he did. If number 8 wants to feather you, up you go and get some yards.
9 for Mahan there. He was now passed for 54 yards and run for 12. That was his best carry of the game. 3rd and 1. Mahan sweep to the outside. Mays cuts it inside. Mays a 1st down and bangs his way to the 11-yard line, make it the 16. Mays hasn't given up. I like the energy of Tracy Mays.
And like I said, he's an explosive runner. Him and Cunningham, they get into the open field. That's when they're most dangerous. The problem is they haven't had much open field to get to.
But that will get them into the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee red zone. This is their 2nd trip into the red zone. Their previous trip, a 16-play drive that came up short. Here's Gillespie, has room, tries to bounce it to the outside, and gets towards the 10-yard line. It'll stop just shy of it by Chase James.
And this is a great drive by Goodpasture now.
Cashing in is the big issue. Last year, it was in this stage of the game, they were down 17-3. They had a 17-play drive that was stopped short inside the 10-yard line, and that was pretty much ball game over.
Right.
Chris Shiverdecker and company went back down the other side and made it 24-3. So here comes the 12th play of the drive here. Up the middle. That's Gillespie to the 5. He'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal. So that will stop the clock for the moment. And if the Cougars are trying to put together a formula to have a chance late in the game, they've got to score here, and they want to start thinking about punching in as quickly as possible.
Right.
Scoring is the first priority. Clock starts running again. So Goodpasture trying to pick up the tempo. Cunningham and Gillespie in the backfield. 1st and goal from the 5. Here's Cunningham. Ducks under and gets to about the 2. Stopped by Sam Thompson, who prevented a touchdown.
And I think Goodpasture's found a little kink in the armor of Alcoa.
Well, they have had the ball a lot. It's not as if they haven't had their chances with the rock. 2nd and goal from the 2. There's Whit Mahan, the senior, trying to get his team on the board for the first time. Spins, gives to Gillespie. He leaps. He lost his momentum, and he's going to come up to about the half-yard line.
And it's 3rd and goal from about the 1/2-yard line.
He probably started his leap a little too early here.
Right.
Watch how he'll leave his feet. He'll spin and then jump. Whoops.
And you see who's in there? Who's
Gravity
at the top
took over there.
Who's at the top of the pile? Cobb.
But you forget that here's the quarterback, and he's playing defense.
Oh, he's just
every down.
He's not a quarterback. He's a football player.
3rd and goal from the 1. A keeper. Mahan, a flag is down.
That's going to be on the offense.
And this will bring it back to the 6. So for a moment, Goodpasture had it. And it was called from the backfield. So either an illegal, somebody moved early there,
It's procedure,
Pat?
yeah.
Or was it just a little bit quick with the count?
5 yards from the spot.
There was illegal motion against Goodpasture. 5 yards, repeat, 3rd down.
I think our referee's getting a little cold. You start speaking slower when you start getting cold. Let's take a look. Let's watch the timing. Right there, Gillespie. Ooh, nitpicking there.
Well, you got to
tiptoes.
It's part of the game.
Mahan wants to go to Hambrick. Can't find him, and he's sacked. Back at the 10-yard line. This will bring up 4th down.
Jeez.
And there's the man again, Tyler Robinson, his 7th sack of the season and his 14th tackle for a loss.
Just a good football player.
He's a sophomore, folks. 4th and goal from the 10. And they're going to line up for a field goal here.
They're going to get on the board.
Just trying to get on the board.
Well, they need a holder.
Well, here he comes. It's Whit Mahan who's going to hold. He's got to hurry. Still time. Play clock down to 5. Mahan is now set. Glenn Neighbors trying to get his team on the scoreboard. It is good. All right. Goodpasture breaks the goose egg. 4th and goal from the 10. They like their chances better of just taking the 3.
Makes sense.
Boy, frustrating though, because they were in the end zone. That play on the glass.
You're at the half-yard line.
I have to say that the legal motion, up on the heels a little bit. I mean, come on. I'm begging.
If you
I don't know why.
If you drive 56 in a 55-mile-an-hour speed zone,
you don't call me for speeding.
You're over the speed limit, and a policeman can pull you over.
But you're making my point for me.
But he
56. That was
it doesn't matter.
56 and a 55.
It doesn't matter. It's illegal, and if they pull you over, you get a ticket. That's part of the. You know what?
You accept the responsibility.
Just do things right. It's a legal procedure. That's what it is.
So 28-3. And a long drive for Goodpasture.
And you know what?
Points.
If you're Alcoa, that's not all that bad that they had to work their way down the field, eat up some time.
So 15 plays on that drive for Goodpasture. The one thing that Alcoa looks like they've done is their philosophy is they might get some first downs, but we're going to make them drive the field.
Right.
That has worked very well for them.
And look at who's back for this kick.
Mr. Cobb and Goodpasture, if you'll notice, In the first half, they pooched the kick. Let's see what they do here. They kick deep. They try to burn Rogan, but it's like a center fielder. He gets back on it well. He'll take it from the 10. This flag is down, illegal block. And this will come back. And you can hear the coach saying, why'd you do that? He was already by you.
Right.
What he wanted to say probably was, hey, Randall doesn't need help on that play, especially after he's by you.
Let him go.
I think it's going to be number 8, Chase James, right here.
Yeah.
And there it is.
That's a push in the back.
There's a block in the back. Gets Alcoa a 10-yard penalty. It'll be
and
first
even he
down.
didn't get a whole lot. He just got a little jersey there.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to defend all these calls. It's illegal. You cannot put your hands on the guy's back. If you move, it's illegal procedure. That's the game. You want to change the game, we'll change the game. Follow the rules.
I'm like the fan in the stands. Let him play.
Yeah,
let those kids play.
Okay. You're one of those people that wants a lawless society. Liberal.
A minute 35 to go in the third quarter. Alcoa with a comfortable lead. Goodpasture needs a big play. And a fullback grinding his way up the middle. Taharin Tyson, another youngster, just a freshman. Causing collisions, Gillespie and Cunningham team up to make the stop along with William Harris. Gain of 4.
I'll tell you, that kid right there is going to be a real good football player. Tyson's going to be a load. Next year, you'll probably see him. He may move to tailback next year and be the mail carrier.
9th grade.
Scary.
Weighing in at 220. Rush for over 300 yards. There's the shotgun. Cobb's going to keep this one. Cobb's been very tough to tackle, but this time, Benji Cunningham with a textbook tackle. He lifted him up off the turf.
One of the things, Cobb is probably not going to blow by any of these defenders for Goodpasture. All these guys can run. And Benjamin Cunningham probably can run better than most of them. That's a good form tackle right there.
That's what they teach you.
Oh, yeah.
Basically pick up the other guy.
Wrap it, slide your helmet to the side.
I always did well when it was a drill. Okay,
Right.
I never really did.
You
I
did good
could
on
never
that.
do
You
that
did
in the
good
game.
on the popsicle sled, the one-man sled. Right, I know.
Bouncing outside. Hodge trying to pick up the first down.
Cunningham with another nice tackle.
And let's go down to Anthony Herron.
Well, you guys can even speak to this better than I can, but talking to Coach Gary Rankin before the game, he talked about how he heard those whispers before the season that people thought this may be a down season for Alcoa football. He just got the job a couple of years ago, and the beat just goes on for this Tornado football team. And those whispers with some of the young players he has, they've turned into just silence right now because it seems like they got another state title on the way.
He did say a number of times earlier in the week, we're going to be pretty good the next couple of years. This was supposed to be our weaker team. But they're up 28-3 at the end of 3. Pretty impressive for a down year. Tornadoes by 25. Well, this one looks like a member of the Cobb family.
I would say so. And there's
Cobb's mom.
Probably dad over to the left.
Boy, that's the number to wear tonight. Randall Cobb.
He is all that.
He is as advertised. Won the Mr. Football earlier this week. Now trying to get a state championship trophy, and then who knows what. He's been sought after by both Tennessee and Kentucky as he turns the corner on 2nd and long.
Randall Cobb on the carry.
Randall Cobb, early on, Kentucky was all over him. Now there's some speculation that Tennessee is trying to move in late to see to it that Randall Cobb has a chance to play for the Big Orange, but we'll see what decision he ultimately makes. Kentucky had a great year. Of course, they'll be coming to Nashville for the Music City Bowl. Let's take a look at the stats through 3 quarters.
It doesn't look that lopsided. If you were to see just those stats, you would say, oh, you probably got a pretty good football game. But the scoreboard says different, 28-3.
Well, the one big turnover,
right,
deep in their own territory, and the unfinishing or the lack of ability to finish off the drive for the Cougars. Cobb to the outside. Nice catch by Thompson. A nice tackle by Benji Cunningham.
You know what's funny? Cunningham's playing great defense right now, but he had just short of the first down. If he had just leaned forward, he has it, but he didn't. and I think it's punt time for Alcoa.
Well, 4th and a half a yard. It's got to be tempting the way they have moved the pile on short yardage situations, but they're going to send the punt team out. Sam Thompson is the punter, launched his first one, but they gave up a big return. In fact, if you recall, Thompson had to make a touchdown-saving tackle on that man right there, Tracy Mays. And now a fake. And they're going to get this easy. Look at this.
Real easy.
Well, Gary Rankin. That's something I'm sure they worked on all week. And boy, you love it when you execute a play like that.
Well, you know what should have been the first inclination for the coaching staff? Hey, number 7's still out there.
Well, they got that without even having to
timeout.
And they called it. Well, Goodpasture, give them credit. They got the timeout called. Now, what do you think of this rule? Now, Pat, you've been a coach for a long time. When the coach is able to call the timeout, on the higher levels, there's a lot of talk about this. The coach didn't used to be able to call timeout. Now you can call it from the sideline. It used to be the player had to get the message from the sideline to call timeout.
What do I think about it? You know, as a coach, you want to have the ability to get to a ref as quickly as possible. I think the confusion that goes on the sideline, you might have a kid saying timeout, and the referee may believe it.
Okay, we're gonna take a look now. Watch the coach come in and call the timeout just at the last second, right side of your screen. Oh, he got it. Oh, it was close too. And it wasn't Coach Martin.
I'll tell you, no, it was the assistant coach, and Gary Rankin gave the official an earful.
So now what do they do? Now they're just going to come out and run the play.
They're going to bring the offense out and say, first down, go get it, fellas.
And nobody's covering Sam Thompson right now. Confusion on the Goodpasture defensive side, and they get it easy.
Easy. He didn't get a great
physical
spot, but
strength of Alcoa has been a big advantage tonight. Speed probably sort of a wash on both teams, but the physical strength of Alcoa has been the difference.
I said it at the beginning. I truly believe that up front, Alcoa was a better football team than Goodpasture, and everybody knows that I'm a big believer. You win up front. The big guys up front, the big uglies for Alcoa, their 5 linemen, Marsh, Cannon, Miles, Coulter, and Hickman have done their jobs, and they are.
And now a timeout called by Alcoa. Now, other than taking a few timeouts, I really am also impressed with their execution, Pat. They have not put the ball on the ground. They haven't thrown an ill-advised pass.
Well,
not very many penalties.
I told you about Cobb's numbers. 21 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. That's impressive. You know, people up here in the press box were talking about whether he's a quarterback or whether the reality is he's probably not a quarterback at the next level. Can you do some things with him as a quarterback? I'm sure, yes, you can. But as an athlete, I mean, I think he would be an outstanding receiver, maybe an outstanding defensive back. If you bulk him up, I wouldn't even be afraid to make him a linebacker.
I talked with Gary Rankin earlier this week, and if you want to put one stamp on what he has done in the 2 years he's been there, because don't forget they had won a couple of titles previous to that, but they have done it with a lot more discipline.
Oh, yeah.
He has done it right from the start. He says if we have a 10 o'clock meeting, it starts at 10 o'clock, you're here at 10 o'clock. And it is shown on the field. A lot less penalties, a lot less turnovers. Fake reverse. Cobb still has it, and he's going to have a first down. Pretty good play action on the reverse.
It was a great fake. What a great fake. Watch the fake here. Everybody follows the sweep guy. Whoop. I'll keep that. Thank you. Now he is impressive. He really is. He's an impressive football player. You got to love him. And Hodge was the guy he faked it to, and Hodge has drawn a whole bunch of attention to the running back.
Well, you mentioned the timeouts back-to-back. It's reminiscent of that Monday night game we just saw with the Patriots, keeping their unbeaten streak on the line there in Baltimore. A controversial play where Baltimore called a timeout. It may have cost them a chance to stop Tom Brady on a 4th and 1 there.
I'm still, I'm a believer. I'd like to see it go back to the players calling the timeout because, like I said, you're on the sideline as an official. You're putting him in a really tough situation. He's standing there on the sideline. You could have a player screaming, "Hey, coach, call a timeout!" And all of a sudden, all the ref hears is timeout, stops the clock, stops the play.
4 yards on first down for Taharin Tyson. Cobb from under center gives it to Hodge. Hodge, the cutback and a good tackle that time by the Cougar defense. And this will bring up 3rd and short. But if you'll notice, all the time when it gets to 3rd down, it seems to be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. Very manageable 3rd downs, and that's one of the reasons that Alcoa has been able to convert so easily.
I mean, how many negative plays have you seen Alcoa run? I can't think of any. I haven't seen them run one negative play, whereas if you think on the other side, how many negative plays has Goodpasture run? At least a half dozen.
And a couple of key ones on key plays.
At key critical times.
3rd and 3. Cougars trying to get the ball back. A fake. Cobb keeps it. Dancing.
Move the chains.
And he has the 1st down. Tackle is made by the Goodpasture secondary with Gillespie coming up with help from Benji Cunningham rather.
I got a feeling if Goodpasture can't hold them here, you'll see Alcoa make some changes and put some more pups in the game.
Good job by the Alcoa offensive line too. We should give them credit. Josh Kincannon had a good block on that play, as told to me by our spotter, Adrian Bayhan, doing the work, representing the McGavick Raiders tonight, a team that Goodpasture played during the season. On 1st down, this is Toney. Good second effort to get positive yards on 1st down.
And what a great job Adrian has done. Outstanding.
We have a flag on the play here. We'll get the call. But a shout out to the Alcoa line holding on them on this play, but
there you go.
We jinxed them. We're giving them some love here.
Giving them a pat on the back.
But Pat, I'm taking your job. Where have you been? You're usually the guy sticking up for the line.
I told you. I said they would set the tone from the get-go.
Call them out. Marsh, Kincannon, Miles, Coulter,
I
Hickman.
just said that 2 minutes ago.
Holding against Alcoa, 10 yards, repeat 1st down.
We give them some accolades and then they hold.
That's okay. You're a lawless society. It wasn't really a hold.
Yeah, it really wasn't a hold.
He took him down, threw him to the ground. It wasn't that bad. He didn't kick him.
11th play of the drive. Of course, Alcoa picked up the 4th and short from their own 30, gambling a bit with the big lead, and it's paid off for them as they continue to chew clock. 8 minutes to go.
Play action.
Cobb on 1st down, wants to throw. Loops it out. Got a man. Hodge has it inside the 30. And a nice touch that time by Cobb. He looped it over the secondary.
I'm going to tell you right now, I hate to say this, it's almost like Alcoa is like a cat with a mouse. I mean, they're just toying with them. Anything they want to run, it works. Look at that.
A great camera shot there. They followed him all the way through on the fake handoff, and he just slipped right out.
I mean, it's just kind of funny. It's like a cat playing with a mouse. I mean, whenever they want to get something, they just dial it up and give it to him.
25 yards on the catch by Hodge to add to his rushing total of 68 yards, so he's chipped in, as well as some excellent linebacker play. Toney following his blocker, dragged down by the jersey.
Nice play by Gillespie.
Gillespie, 18 tackles in last year's championship game. He's been very busy tonight. Watch him just grab between the 1 and the 5.
He got lucky because he fights through the block. You see that? That's a great play.
You gotta love when kids compete, even though they're down. I mean, Goodpasture's not used to being down.
You know, I say this every year, and it's the one thing that impressed me most about these games. You got to realize, for a bulk of the seniors that have stepped on the field tonight, it's the last time they're going to put football pads on. You know, and that's something that stands out every year. It stands out in my head. You know, you look at maybe there's 40 seniors between these two teams. You know, for probably 34 of them, 35 of them, it's the last time they're going to put on a helmet and shoulder pads. It's not like, you know, if you're a baseball player, you can go out in the backyard and play catch, or if you're a basketball player, you can go pick up basketball games or go play. You can't say, hey, let's get our friends together, go grab our shoulder pads and helmets and smash each other. I mean, I know I couldn't do that in my neighborhood right now.
Well, nobody wants to play with you anyway.
Yeah, I know.
3rd and 7, Cobb. Looks to run, keeps it, dances outside, now cuts upfield. 1st down inside the 10, another great run for Randall Cobb. A little good block by his fullback, Tyson.
A little bit of your shake and bake. Watch some more, a little bit more of your shake and bake right here, Willie. Watch this. Comes around the edge, good block again.
Boy, he danced outside and then cut it right back up the field.
Another block by Coulter. Our 6-year-old Alcoa never missed a game guy. That's amazing, though, isn't that number? Think about it. Since he was 6 years old, he's never missed an Alcoa Tornado game.
So we're now back in the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee red zone. And here is Cobb going to work once again. The lefty has a man open. Here's Tyson.
Oh,
a
what a
great hit.
play.
Now he takes out the ref and goes out of bounds at the 1.
Cunningham, nice job in the open field, and now he's tapping out. But he made, hey, he did make a big play right there because that was going in.
Boy, this looked like touchdown. Cunningham just wouldn't let him get there. Now watch the ref. Look out, right in the sternum. Watch, first the hit, and then to the ref.
Ref's got to be more nimble than that. He's got to be more nimble than that. Shake it off. Spit on it.
I'll say this, he kept his balance
He
very
did
well
keep
there.
his balance.
Into the end zone go the Tornadoes. This is Hodge for his second touchdown of the half. A great drive by the Tornadoes. Great execution. They overcame a penalty, converted a 4th down.
Wow.
It's been what it's like all night. Up front, the guy's doing the job.
And a good block by his tight end, big number 90, Adrian Womac. Clamp storm.
For the extra point. It is up and through. Derek Brodus makes it 35-3 as Troy Hodge takes another touchdown into the end zone. A 17-play, 88-yard drive for the Alcoa Tornadoes. They took over 7 minutes off the clock. Very, very impressive. And Troy Hodge ended up the drive with his second touchdown. He's got 70 yards on the ground. And now here's the kickoff. Goodpasture hasn't had a chance to return very many.
Now.
They fought over the ball. Tyler Lovell takes it, and on the second effort gets it out to about the 25-yard line.
And you're going to see a few clean jerseys. No, I guess not, because Randall Cobb's coming back in to play some defense.
Well, last high school game.
He's going to get his money's worth. Coach, you can bring other people out here with me if you want, but I'm going.
He's got 44 yards passing and a touchdown. He's got 127 on the ground in 2 touchdowns.
Yeesh.
There's Whit Mahan. He's gone all the way for Goodpasture. He's going to throw on first down. Hits the slant and it's knocked down. Good read by the linebacker Connor Miles, and he knocked that one down. He jumped out into that throwing lane.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. If that didn't get through, Randall Cobb might have picked that one. He had pretty good coverage.
Six minutes, 14 seconds to go. We'll go to Anthony Herron after this play. Goodpasture has had a wild ride to get here. And Cunningham is tackled. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Let's go down to Anthony Herron on the sideline.
Willie, I heard Pat trying to figure out the mystery of the clamp storm, and I did a little research down here. My homework assignment is in. Your basic clamp storm involves a pinch from the entire defensive line, and then the linebackers are going to blitz for you. So, Pat, that's what a clamp storm is.
Gotcha.
Anthony, great work on the sideline.
That's my guy.
See,
I told you.
That's why we have him down there.
He's good.
I'm learning new stuff. Pat, next time you're down on the sideline coaching your team, teaching the clamp storm. It's working well tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Third down once again for Goodpasture. They've had good success. 8 for 13. Here's a 3rd and 9. And a whistle.
Delay a game? How can you have a delay a game?
Yeah, delay a game. 5-yard penalty.
Well, we mentioned the wild ride.
Still 3rd down.
For Goodpasture to get here. They play in, without a doubt, the toughest region in 2A. In fact, this year, they changed things around. There are 9 regions in 2A, and 3 of arguably the best 4 or 5 teams in the entire state play in the same region. DCA, CPA, and Goodpasture. DCA had knocked off Goodpasture early. Goodpasture had to beat CPA 2 weeks in a row, basically.
Right, back to back.
To move on. Then they had some thrillers in the playoffs. One at Camden, where they had to stop a 2-point conversion to win. And here's a great pass. Ooh, almost a nice catch by Michael Rogan, but he couldn't come down with it. And that would have been a first down.
Your guy, again, Thompson, with another big hit. Him and James. Watch right here. They try to hit Rogan right down the middle. Yep,
good hit there by Chase James. Good separation, but Rogan, I'm sure, is shaking his head as he went back in there. He thought he should have had that one.
Chase James is the backup quarterback, and now Goodpasture will punt it away.
Whit Mahan, I like the way he's throwing the ball tonight. He's one of those guys who might be playing his last Well, he's playing his last high school game. You like when a guy feels good about the way he's performing. I think he should. Goodpasture covers the punt at the 44-yard line, so Alcoa will go back to work with 5:13 to go. 27-yard punt.
And now you're going to see some fresh jerseys on offense, it looks like. I think. Is that a new guy? Nope. Still with the ones.
You're looking for those two.
I would put them in there.
Don't forget a triple header tomorrow. We'll have it all the way across the state. The rematch between Lipscomb and Fulton. Lipscomb came back late in the game last year. Fulton had to hold on to get the championship. Lipscomb has got some good talent. That should be a really good matchup. Maplewood, a tremendous story to get the chance to play Maryville, who is the Goliath for sure. 59 in a row. But Maplewood from Metro Nashville has not been in the finals for 32 years. And so I'm really excited for their chances. I mean, that is just a really solid group. It all starts at noon, and it'll end with the fifth of 5 games with Pat in the booth with Peter Sermon, George Plaster for the 5A title and all mid-state game between Independence and Smyrna. And now the crowd has a chance to appreciate the starters as they come off. What a great job by the Tornadoes with the 35-3 lead. Good job by Gary Rankin, giving the fans a chance to appreciate not only what they've done tonight, but this is really the salute for the whole season.
Well, you know, and just a great effort. I mean, Alcoa was prepared, and if you're David Martin, you got to feel a little bit bad, only in the sense that you almost feel like the Marv Levy of Division II.
I think that's a great way to put it. I mean,
do you get
it's a tremendous accomplishment to get here, and a lot of times people remember the last game, and that's really not fair. I always think what the Bills did was a tremendous accomplishment.
I think so too. It is pretty impressive.
And Goodpasture, it's not like they've never won it. They won it in 2001. They won it twice in the 90s as well. So 3 titles for the Cougars. Just can't figure out Alcoa the last couple of years. And with good reason. Alcoa has been a tremendous football team, and on 3rd down, Toney should have the first down. He's marked down for 30. And we are now inside of 4 minutes, and there is your player of the game.
And how about the guy he's hugging right there, Colton, like we talked about, has seen every game since he was 6 years old, probably, like I said, playing in his last game ever. I mean, you never know. I mean, you just look at his size. Coulter is 5'11", 230 pounds. Maybe he has a chance at a smaller Division III school, but you know, this could be it for him. But I'm sure he'll keep coming. I'll bet you he keeps coming to all these games.
Darrell Warren is down on 1st down, and so Randall Cobb is tonight's best one tire and service player of the game, and he left little doubt. Mr. Football earlier in the week, and he showed why tonight. 18 carries, 127 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. The quarterback draw was a big play for them, and 4 of 8 through the air with another touchdown pass. Backup quarterback now in there, Chase James, as we mentioned. Gives up the middle for Warren. Aaron Gillespie, another tackle. Boy, he has been on the field.
He's made a bundle of them.
Well, I'd like to see how many tackles he made as Warren comes off after a couple of carries.
And this is good for Coach Rankin because he's giving some of these other guys, you know, you say he's giving some of these sophomores and juniors a chance, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's giving some of these freshmen a chance now.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Tornadoes. Getting close to the 2-minute mark. Toney once again, he's been the workhorse here. And now let's get tonight our crystal sack of the game. There haven't been too many sacks, but the guy that's really gotten it done is Tyler Robinson. And this was a big one on 3rd goal.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Goodpasture was knocking, and Robinson closed the door.
And it's fitting that he gets recognized because he's done a really nice job on both sides of the ball, defensive end and tight end, and just a sophomore.
You'll hear his name next year again.
So he probably should treat himself to some crystal sacks.
Oh, he's going to eat.
You think they're going to have a good time in Alcoa tonight?
Oh, yeah, I think they're going to have a blast. And I think Gary Rankin's about to get wet. Unless they dumped out all the water. See, that's what I would do as a coach. I would have one of my GAs or assistants go dump out all the Gatorade buckets so that way I know I'm not going to get wet.
All right, now let's take a look at our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. And I'll get you involved number 7. And here's Robinson.
Again.
That was on the opening drive, and Alcoa came right off the bat and set the tone. Robinson knocked through 2 tacklers to get to the goal line.
Well, we're going to get another Pizza Hut delivery of the game in a second because Coach Rankin's about to get delivered a little bit of a bat.
Sneak attack is coming. Look at this. And they have got it.
Oh, they went after the clamp storm, Coach.
Oh, they got the clamp storm. They didn't get Rankin.
They knew better.
Now, did he take one for the team there, or was that like the security man?
No, what I think he did was...
Will there be a second jug for Rankin? Or,
yeah, maybe.
Oh, they're going to try to get him.
And they didn't get him.
Oh, Rankin. All right, let's get a replay of the sneak attack.
They got the clamp storm, Coach.
Clamp storm, he gets a direct hit. And he doesn't have a jacket on either, so he is really paying the price for not wearing the sleeves tonight.
They got him.
Now, they didn't get as lucky on Coach Rankin.
No, they missed on Coach Rankin.
And they're really going to try to get Rankin here. Now, if you'll take a look, they're making another approach at Rankin.
Yeah.
The first one was just a setup. And the second one is going to be for real. Let's see if the second one.
Yeah, they're going to need more than that.
They're really working hard.
Somebody's going to have to take them down. You're going to have to put. Look at they can't even slow them down.
Yep. they tried to double. They tried a double whammy. They got another assistant, and they did get Coach Rankin a little bit. Well, 30 seconds to go.
They're having fun.
Here's Warren again. He's getting some carries here late in the game. He's going to be pulled down, and that will do it, folks. That will be likely the final game, or final play of the game.
And I feel, I love Coach Rankin. Like I said, I had the chance to spend some time with him when he was at Riverdale, sitting down and talking to him in his office. And he's a good football coach. And more importantly, he cares a whole bunch about his kids. First thing he said when he got there out of Alcoa, discipline is going to be the key. And sure enough, he got it. And he loves it out there. And that's four in a row.
Titles in a row for the Tornadoes. 2 in a row for Coach Rankin, and that's 6 overall for Coach Rankin. The only thing they didn't execute perfectly was the Gatorade dunking, because no turnovers tonight. Tremendous movement. They really did it methodically. Pat, they didn't have any huge plays.
There wasn't any 70-yard run or 60-yard pass or anything like that. They just really lined up, and their offensive line, again, I'm going to give them kudos. Marsh, Kincannon, Miles, Coulter, Hickman. Outstanding job by the front 5, and they gave room for guys like Cobb and Hodge to run the football as much as they could, and sure enough, very impressive.
There is Randall Cobb. What a tremendous job he did tonight. Let's go down to Anthony Herron.
All right, the beat goes on for Gary Rankin and the Alcoa Tornadoes. Coach, you talked about the whispers early in the season about the inexperience of your team, but you finished off with another state title.
So proud of these kids. We had 9 seniors. We're playing forward. Our young kids just really believed and came through. And I think this is the proudest I've ever been of one of my football teams.
And really, I mean, you're covered in ice water right now, but I'm sure it's got to feel good about another successful run.
Feels great. I'm so happy for our school and our community. Alcoa is a football community. They love their football, and it was just a great job by our seniors. Great job.
And you talk about those seniors, you've also got the youth that we already spoke on, so the future has to be bright for Tornado football.
Future looks good. We certainly know our way to how to get back down there, I hope.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Congratulations on a great season. Back to you guys.
Anthony, great job tonight. The 4 seniors he mentioned playing in their last game as Tornadoes. There's one of them, Randall Cobb, Josh Kincannon, and Seth Coulter, the guards on the offensive line, and of course the tailback, linebacker.